Life with a new baby is not always what you expect. Pregnancy, the birth or adoption of a baby, can bring physical, emotional, and social changes, and these adjustments are not always easy.
Baby blues occur up to 2 weeks postpartum, and that's where mom might cry more easily, not be herself, very weepy, agitated.
That emotional roller coaster, those ups and downs, affect an estimated 80% of new mothers.
And if that extends beyond the 2 weeks postpartum period after the birth of her baby, and doesn't seem to be letting up, might even be increasing in intensity, then it's probably time to call somebody.
So the insomnia was really my first symptom at about 6 weeks. And then things just sort of spiraled from there. The insomnia caused an anxiety, and then the anxiety led to the perinatal mood disorder, depression.
I've never really experienced depression before, but that was just the darkest time of my life.
There are many terms explaining postpartum depression and similar mood disorders. It can range from PPD, PPMD, and what it really stands for is perinatal, as well as prenatal and postpartum depression or mood disorders.
The feelings, the emotions that might be included in that would be some depression, anxiety, anger, feeling of overwhelmed, not bonding with the baby, a whole gamut of emotions that just aren't feeling normal for the woman after the birth of a baby.
I have 3 children, and my other 2 pregnancies, I fully embraced them. My 3rd child, he is 5 now. I didn't feel any connection towards him whatsoever. There was no connection, there was no bond, there was no happiness, there was nothing.
I was all consumed with what was going on, and there was no real light at the end of the tunnel, and that to me took over. There was no end to my day and my night. Everything was rolling into one, and I couldn't see anything in the future. And that's when, for me, I started to get scared, because that was not my personality at all.
I felt like I was just losing my mind. Like I would put things down in the house and just not know where I left them. I was starting to become paranoid about friendships and relationships I had, and just all kinds of things were going on in my mind.
It can be any kind of mood disorder, from anxiety to depression, a little bit of anger mixed in. They can actually occur prenatally, before the baby's born, during the pregnancy, as well as up to a year after the birth of the baby.
During my pregnancy, the bigger the baby got and the more apparent he was inside of me, I was kind of grossed out by my pregnancy, feeling the baby grow in me and moving around. I really was more taken back by it as opposed to enjoying it and embracing it.
The sleep deprivation after my first was very significant. It really affected my thought patterns, my eating behaviors, and things like that.
Perinatal mood disorders affect 1 in 5 women. And in some cases, the woman doesn't know she's experiencing this. Sometimes it takes a loved one, a mother, sister, a friend, or another family member.
I thought, well, maybe she's really lacking sleep, and like that will bring confusion into the mind. So I thought, well, like once she sleeps well, so I would get her a tea, maybe, that'll relax you and then you can fall asleep, but it just wasn't coming. I was scared to bits. Like it seemed very hopeless in the moment when you're right in it.
What really happened was my husband one night, I would be getting angry at him. I remember telling him to be quiet, and he got really annoyed, saying, you're acting a little irrational. I think maybe something's going on. You're not sleeping, and we can't do this. So he just I started thinking, oh, maybe there is something going on.
Any woman can experience postpartum mood disorders. It crosses all socioeconomic paths. They can be younger, they can be older, they can be professional, they can be a teenager. Postpartum mood disorders is not immune to any woman at all ages, all socioeconomic classes.
Embarrassment, guilt, depression. Yeah, like I said, I didn't feel any type of connection with him whatsoever. I just went through the mechanical, taking care of him. I felt totally alone.
Sometimes you have to grow into your role as a mother, and it's not immediate.
And there seems to be so much mystery and even shame around the topic of mental health. And if this episode did anything for us as a family, it took away that mystery and it showed us that anybody can befallen with this.
I did try to hide my feelings. I struggled with depression and anxiety. It was really hard for me to reach out. That's when I realized that there was an abundance of help out there to be found.
Because I did feel helpless. Like I felt nothing I could do is gonna help the outcome. Nothing I'm gonna do is gonna make her better. Whatever I can do, which is just be with her and love the kids and be with them and try and keep yourself even keel and not, panic.
I just thought, how am I going to do this without the help, and how am I going to get the kids off to school in the morning by myself, and all of these things that feel now like what was the big deal, but when you're in that state, it's just impossible to see through.
So I think it's important to find that key person that you can be open with. My husband at the beginning wasn't quite understanding, but became a very supportive role and was my rock.
My friends were a big part of my life. They really support me as a mom, and I think it was their reassurance that I was able to even go through the mechanics of being able to care for my baby.
Perinatal and postpartum mood disorders can happen to anyone. It's important to know you are not alone. There are people who want to help.
Accepting the support from other meaningful people around them. That's a tough thing for a lot of women, accepting the help. We ask them not to blame themselves because it is not their fault at all. It never is their fault. There is no blame and there is no shame. So the sooner they get help, the better, and that will fast track them towards their path of wellness.
The make or break point is going to be her community. And so we rallied as two families. We had a schedule. Karen was never alone. We're going to do this as a family.
My friends really helped because they made sure that they became a little more involved in my life. My friends were, going, oh, well, it's there somewhere, and that gave me hope that I will eventually be able to bond with my child.
Find the people that are closest to you and let them help you, let them rally around you and give you the support that you need.
They're like spokes on a wheel. The more spokes you have, the better off the outcome. So it helps to support them through that journey to wellness.
So I think it's important for women to recognize that if you're feeling these thoughts, you need to discuss them with someone.
Whether you have a support network, family, friends, or if you have nobody to talk to, it's important that you seek help. See your doctor or please call us at the Parent Talk Line. We can become the support network.
We have lots of support within Niagara. If women find themselves isolated, perhaps they've just moved to this city or to this region from another area, and they find themselves to be really alone, we are the network and we're happy to help them. The women who call into our Parent Talk Line, when they do describe their symptoms to us, they're most afraid of telling any family members, any of their loved ones. They're really concerned about this stigma and what people are going to think of them, that they're bad mothers. We always like to reassure them that they're always the best mother for that baby, for their baby, but they're going through a rough time and they just need lots of support to help them through that path,
She's gonna come through and, this isn't forever. And so to hear those things and know that this is just short term, like that really, put my mind at ease.
The majority of women who call in may feel anxious and something similar to that, like a lump in the throat, panicky, unable to shut down their brain at night and unable to sleep. And they feel they don't qualify for the postpartum mood disorders because they think of it as only depression. So I want to emphasize that the anxious feelings are all a part of it as well, and we welcome them to call us at the Parent Talk Line for the same reason.
So when you're a new mom, obviously you are not thinking about yourself very much. You're thinking about the baby you have to take care of, but it's so important to take as much care of yourself to prevent things like this from spiraling downhill.
And I think that's important to realize that it's okay if you don't feel like you think you should feel when you first have the baby.
I also find that if you're feeling like if a new mom is feeling that something isn't right, she should not hesitate to go to a doctor.
Reach out, be honest. Don't hold everything on the inside, because the more you hold on the inside, the more you block the outside out. In order to be able to get over, it's a hump. It is something that you will get past. It's something that once you do get past, you can see the beauty of your family again. You know, you can see the beauty of your child. And it's a shame to have to miss a day of it, let alone a year and a half.
Also, you know your own body better than anyone else does. So if you feel like something's off or something's wrong, listen to that.
We encourage all mothers, family members, whether it's partner, mother, sister, friend, to please call us at the Parent Talk Line and speak to one of our nurses if they have an inkling that they might be experiencing any of these symptoms, because the sooner they get help, the better the outcome. So we want to get them on that path to wellness and prevent any problem from getting worse.
The sooner you get help, the sooner you can build on your relationship with your child. I'm actually really upset that I missed out on the first year and a half of really truly bonding with my son.
At the same time, I really wanted to have another baby and I wanted to feel that bond that I didn't have with my first initially. So I was nervous, but I was excited as well. And it was so great because I held my second baby and I felt that immediate love that I had expected to feel with my first, and I didn't. And I recognized that that's okay. And yeah, so things went really well.
It was like a miracle. Like, I don't even know how to describe it differently than that, because I just all of a sudden felt like I could do it, and I don't know where that came from, but it just happened all of a sudden from not being able to see through and not being able to live life without help to just it was a complete turnaround.
Someone had told me, don't be afraid to ask for help. None of us want to ask for help, but we have to learn how to ask for help and not be ashamed of that.
One of the most important things that you can do for your baby is to take care of yourself.
Things are wonderful now.
Now I feel good.
Working on my family life and making it a happy home for my kids. Working on me so they can get the best mom that they can, right?
I was able to enjoy my family again, enjoy life again, where I never really thought that would have happened before.